guys, tonight I'm making a mushroom risotto. So I've just got half a red onion, frying in a little oil in the pan, and I'm just adding to that this ice cube. It's actually wild garlic, which we pureed up earlier in the year. I'm just adding some arborio rice, and you just want to stir that around and get all the grains coated before you add the stock. I'm also just adding some black pepper, and I'm adding quite a generous pinch of this za'atar because the date on it is actually up, so it's definitely not as pungent as it once was. So I'm putting the stock in now. You just add a little bit at a time to this. The risotto is coming up to ready now, so I'm just going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper to it and a big load of spinach, which will wilt down nicely. And now it's pretty much ready to go. When I put it onto the plates, I'm going to put some nutritional yeast on the top. It's kind of got a nutty, cheesy flavour, and I'm using that in place of parmesan. We're having spaghetti and peppers for tea, and I've got this sauce to go on to it, which is coriander and avocados with a little bit of lime juice and water. And then I've also got some sun-dried tomatoes to go on top. It's very thick, the sauce. I wasn't too sure about this one because it's quite cold outside and it's like a cold sauce, but the pasta's really hot, so I think it's going to warm it up. Tonight we're having a spaghetti squash, and I'm going to use it like a pasta. So this is one from the allotment. I find the skins are quite thick on it. It's a little bit difficult to get into. And then you just need to scrape out the seeds. You can save them to plant some more for next year, or if you've got lots like we have, then you can roast them as well. I'm just going to roast these in the oven for about 45 minutes, and I'm just putting some coriander on them, quite a bit there. To make the sauce, I'm just using peppers, mushrooms, garlic and some red onion. Then I've got a jar of tomatoes, and I'll also add into it a little bit of paprika and some Italian spice. I'm going to finish it all off with these nasturtium flowers, which are also from the allotment. I can't believe it's like late November and they're still flowering, but they've got a really nice peppery punch to them, so we're going to stick those on the top just as they are, as like a garnish as well. This is the spaghetti squash, so I've just gone through it with a fork, and as you can see it comes off quite easily. And then on top of it I'm putting my sauce, which is mushroom and onion. And I'm just finishing it off with the nasturtium flowers. Tonight we're having sweet potato fritters, and I've got a new light in the kitchen, so hopefully you can see things a little more clearly. In here I've got about 100 ml of water and a whole load of sweet corn, which I'm going to blitz up. And now I've blitzed that up, I'm adding it to some flour and salt. I think there's about 75 grams of flour in there. The sweet corn was frozen, so it's still quite pulpy. I'm also adding a few whole sweet corn kernels. I've thrown a handful of chives in there as well. And then you stir it all up with a teaspoon of baking powder. I may need to add a little bit of liquid to it, but we'll see. We're looking for a very thick batter consistency. I'm just frying these up in the pan now. They do look like they're sticking a little bit, but you know what? Even if these like crumble up, they still taste really good, so I'm really not too worried about that. I'm serving the fritters with this sauce. It's some leftovers that I've got from lunchtime yesterday. It's roasted red peppers and toasted hazelnuts, just blitzed up together with a little bit of passata and some parsley. It's like a really nice fresh sauce, so it's going to go nicely with this dish, and I'm just going to heat that through and pop it over the fritters once they're done. The fritters are all done. They did stick together. I'm just popping the sauce onto them now. That's all of the recipes for this week, guys. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Tonight we're having this Thai rice with chestnut mushrooms. It looks tasty.